Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Matchbook Horse Racing Podcast. Days 3 and 4 at Cheltenham being covered for you with Charlie Poste and Micheál Deasy. Charlie Poste is not far away from me in the Cheltenham press room. There might be a bit of background noise here as people coming out. It's raining as well. It looks like it's getting a bit heavier as well. Micheál Deasy's back home in his mansion, having backed the double yesterday. What was it, 17.0 Jazzy Matty, and what price was Courage Rambler?
No, he was Cormac Rambler was off 7.5 and Jazzy Matty went off 19.0.
There you go, good man.
Yeah, so I had an outstanding first day. The bank for the week has been withdrawn now, and I just have just profit to lose now for the rest of the week. But it was a really good start. I was strong enough on Jazzy Matty's, and I backed him accordingly and just got very lucky. So delighted.
All right for some, Charlie, isn't it? All right for some.
No one likes someone that gloats, Dees. Please.
Guys said I was lucky, Charlie. Come
on. We're going to get stuck straight into 3 and 4. There's lots of Cheltenham content still out there. You can look back at our handicap preview if you want. And we have found a few winners between us on that. And I think Matt Toombs' best bet of the week was in Pere Pass, and that cops this morning in some style as well. So well done to him. Remember, like and subscribe via all the usual channels. Makes it easier to watch each and every podcast or listen to it that goes up. We kick off with the 1:30 on Thursday. It is the former JLT Turners. There you go. I was going back to call it the JLT. Mighty Potter's 1.95. Appreciate it 4.7. Banbridge 9.0. 13.5. Stage Star is moving. I wouldn't want to be Paul Nicholls' cat tonight. He's had a brutal week so far. But can Stage Star turn it around? Mighty Potter, Charlie, at least.
Look, as in, I actually have quite a lot of respect for Balco Coastal and Stage Star, but Mighty Potter I've loved all year. I mean, the only negative you've got is the fact that he bombed out at the festival last year in the Supreme, but his performances this year have been faultless, and I thought he was fantastic at Leopardstown at the Dublin Racing Festival. So and the way the week has gone, especially in the novice contests with the Irish domination, I was tempted to put up Balco Coastal, but I'm just decided to play safe and follow the script for the week, and yet more Irish domination with Mighty Potter. Tom.
Yeah, I mean, I quite like Banbridge on the face of it, but I just can't see how he reverses that form from a couple of starts ago with Mighty Potter. So I'm struggling to see past him. I mean, I don't know if I want to back him odds on, to be completely honest. I thought he might be a bit more like 2.1 or something, but I'm struggling to see past Mighty Potter. It'd just be I might stick him in my sort of usual daily acca with a few others.
Yeah, I imagine that he should win this fairly handy. He's been very visually impressive this year. He's grown as a horse. He looks absolutely bomb-proof, and like the word is that he is absolutely bomb-proof. So not going to go against market vibes. He's been very backed as well, or very well backed the last few days. So looks like a good one for Gordon. I would just like to give a shout to Stage Star as well, though. I thought he won a handicap there on trials day off top weight, beat That's All Right Gene on Unexpected Party, but that handicap threw up to a few winners of the novice handicap chase there over a couple of years. Like the likes of Killisart and Simply the Bets and even Imperial Alcazar, they all won that and went on to run very well at festival. So I could see him definitely running his odds and possibly sneaking into second. So I'd probably back him in the place markets and maybe do a forecast with Mighty Potter first and him second.
Helen Sheridan says Banbridge won't like the ground. It's coming down now. I can hear it on the roof of the press room. So I think it could last a bit of the night as well. They talked about up to 8 mils into tomorrow. So we'll see how he gets on. But Mighty Potter, a pretty confident shout from all of us in the opener, the Turners. The Betemps is up next. And a load of Irish claimers riding in this. So that was interesting. Thanks for the help, though. For David Piper's 5.1. Maxim, Gordon Elliott's horse, is 7.4. Walking on Air, 11.0. Good Time Johnny, 13.5. On Tailleur for the O'Neills is 12.5, 15.0, and bigger the rest. I'll just kick off with Good Time Johnny. Somebody in the press room pointed out to me that this horse could be a very well-treated horse. Again, apologies for the background noise. Some staff coming in. They got the hoods up because it's raining. And I watched a few of his runs back. Like, he's been Tony Martin. He looks a really potentially well-treated horse. Don't know much about the guy riding him, but I thought I don't know, I could easily make a case for backing him at 13.5, that he's been campaigned with this race in mind. And Bear Gills is the one I put up anti-post, and I'm sticking with that. He did best of those up with the pace in the Chepstow race, and he should be all right on the ground. He's got form with a bit of cut underfoot. So, and previous horses that have been chasing got a decent record in this. So yeah, he was about 26.0 last time I looked. So I thought he could be half interesting. Dees?
Yeah, Matt Toon's going to put us onto Good Time Johnny in the handicap preview, and I have to row in behind him now. And Luke McMahon put him up as his I think it was his charity bet as well in the Cheltenham preview we did Saturday night. So he's a fair old judge. He's been fairly well back now last week, but again, you're never going to go too broke back in Tony Martin horses and handicaps. Just an word on the Tyler now as well. He's come in while we were getting ready to do this. He was 14.0 there at about 6 o'clock. He's 12.5 now, so the money is coming for him. The other one, I think thanks for the help. Even though he's a very sharp price, I think he's a great chance. I think he came over to Ireland there at the Punchestown Festival last year and ran a big race, and but he was well back, but he finished third. They've tinkered with his wind. He won, or he qualified in the last possible qualifier and absolutely pissed off, made sure he got in. He's running off featherweight in this. I think he's a massive chance as well, but he's probably a win only bet. I'd have a bit on Good Time Johnny, and I put up Bear Gills as well in the handicap preview, so I'll probably have to stick with him for a small bit as well. Good,
I'm following DC, so I can't go too far wrong. Charlie Post?
I came down with Walking on Air, Nicky Henderson. I mean, probably a man less synonymous with setting horses up for handicaps than Tony Martin, but so far the handicap hurdles have been all right for the Brits, haven't they? Langer Dan today, so this horse, he went off 9-2 for an Aintree Grade 1 last year, over 2.5, and his first start back this time round at Doncaster was slightly underwhelming, but he looked good at Exeter the last day. He's only got a £5 rise, puts him off a mark of 138, and like I say, I think there's plenty of upside in that still, and an unexposed sort in this sort of race, and Nicky Henderson's comments about him have been fairly favourable.
Shout out to Daniel Hussey for napping Langer Dan in the Coral Cup. I mean, initially I think he napped him in the Mutton Pie, and then Harsh himself he found out he was running in the Coral Cup, but then he changed. So well done. 8 places, Dees, in the Potem.
8 places on site there now. If you fancy getting stuck into that, that'll be better. That'll be better than more sports books now. So take advantage of that.
Ryanair up next then. Shishkin's got to be odds on for this, I thought. We'll have a look very shortly. 1.97, just about. Blue Lord 7.2, Jannedale 8.2, Fury Road 13.0. That's my sort of each way win and place play. Fury Road, who I thought dropping back to this distance will suit. Charlie, I know you half agree, but you're still with Shishkin. And why can't I strongly fancy Shishkin? I should, Charlie. I don't know what's wrong with him. Why am I running scared?
I don't know. You've got questions to answer. I don't know why you are running scared. I mean, Shishkin, I think, is an absolute certainty in this. As in, I think anything within sort of £7, that performance at Ascot the last day, and he just takes this out and takes it out comfortably. I thought it was an excellent performance, and the only real blot on his copybook was the flop in the Champion Chase last year. That there were, in theory, credible reasons why. His Tingle Creek return was slightly underwhelming, but he looked like he relished the step up in trip at Ascot, and you're almost thinking, were they tempted to even have a go at the Gold Cup, or will they in the future? But I think he's a real strong bet in this, and then it's looking for something if you don't want to wade in at that price. And I'm agreeing with you. I think Fury Road is a player, and so I'm going to back Shishkin and Fury Road in the forecast, just slightly in preference to Jannedale, who chased home Allaho last year.
Fresh ground tomorrow, but it is coming. It is raining. I think I'm just hungover from last year where he just didn't go a yard deep. I don't know. You like him, do you, Shishkin?
Yeah, I think he's by far the best horse in this race. This is kind of, sure everyone knows, in an intermediate race, kind of stuck with horses that aren't good enough for the Gold Cup or aren't fast enough for the Champion Chase. But he's a really top class horse, and he should win this. If he's right, he should win it. And I'll be doing Janadil for the forecast. It clicked last year for me. I put him in the forecast with Allaho, and I'm going to stick with it again this year. So Shishkin first, Janadil second.
Okay, Shishkin 1.95. It's shortened up ever so slightly since we've been talking. We move on to the Stayers Hurdle. Deasy and I agree on this, and Charlie's with another. It's still an Irish horse. Tupo's 3.85 now. Looks like he's going to go a favourite from Blazing Coal 5.0, Flooring Porter 7.2, 9.2 Home by the Lee, then into the double figure prices. Deasy, I'm going to read you what Charles Burns has said about Blazing Carl on the post. He says, we're here now and hoping for the best. Unfortunately, we can't change the fact he's had a poor preparation, but he seems in good form and travelled over well. His best form has been on good to soft ground, so we wouldn't want it too soft for him. What do you make of that? We can't change the fact we've had a poor preparation. I don't know. I'm half calling bullshit with Charles Burns.
Oh, it's almost certainly bullshit. So I suppose most people will know, they'll have seen people on Twitter on about this. There's been a tip around for Blazing Cal since the start of the season that he was going to win the Stayers Hurdle. He probably had his few problems, but who knows how bad they actually were. But I'd say there are significant liabilities with a lot of books around on Blazing Cal tomorrow. He's one of the new course. He's one of the old course. He was very good last year as a novice hurdler. He would probably have gone off favourite for the Albert Bartlett and would have gone very close. I did a bit of pocket talk. I've small, but I'm at him at bigger prices. I probably wouldn't go in tomorrow now for at 5.0. He's short enough at that, and you have to respect Tihupu, because if the ground is soft, he really comes into it. He's a top class horse. But I'm putting up Blazing Cal because he's the one I want to win.
I want him to win as well. Dan Hussey likes Flooring Porter. Dan Hussey just lives in the past at previous festivals, doesn't he? Flooring Porter, Langer Dan. He likes quarter star for the Gold Cup.
Yeah, confidence is high now after today.
Charlie?
Dan had a good day.
Yeah, he did. To be fair, he did have a good day. He's in India at a wedding, so fair play for tuning in and producing this. Charlie?
Come on, Dan. Get back into the programme. Get back into reality. Flooring Porter can't win this. I must admit he's shorter than I thought he would be, but I'm with Tihupu. I mean, Hatton's Grace form looks better now with Honeysuckle winning yesterday like she did, and then stepping up to 3 miles, he slammed Somerville Boy. I think there's quite a few exposed older horses in this, and a couple of the younger brigade coming through. Blazing Callu, of course, is one of them that you have to respect. But Tihupu was considered good enough to run the champion hurdle last year, and like I say, he's carried that through up in trip and maybe improved for it. Add that in the fact that it's going to definitely be soft ground, irrespective of whether it's fresh ground tomorrow with the way the rain is coming down. And yeah, I'm strongly behind him.
Oh, I like that. It's a toss up between the two for me. But I just the Burns comments are making me sweeter on Blazing Carl, weirdly, and I was pretty taken with last time. Helen Sheridan says, "Has the Frenchie got any chance?" No, Deasy, I'll throw that to you. Not for me, given how the pace race last. I think just suited him. I'd love it to happen, but I don't think so. I think the Irish are too strong.
Nah.
No.
Say no.
Do you speak any French?
Sure, is it j'ai petit peu français. I have very little French.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You know.
I can say some disgusting things as well in French, but which I can't say on camera. But
no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Terrified as to what they might be. The plate is up next, the 410, and mine and Matt Tooms's anti-post shout has come in a good bit. This Frere Bamboo 13.0 was solidly double that when we did put him up for this. And I exclaimed, up Venetia in the plate. So Scottish is 5.2, Alton Color is 7.8, Midnight River 10.5, as is Il Rodotto, Fugitive 13.5, as is Frere Bamboo. East half a point, this has been talking about, in 14.0 and bigger than the rest. Charlie Post, who are you looking at?
Midnight River for me. I just think, again, he's proven around the track, and he's proven that with the conditions, he'll love the slow ground. He took a race out here well, and he's a horse that his need is jumping to come together, and it's maybe taking him a bit of time to progress and show his potential. But I think he's well on the upgrade now. The Skeltons, as they showed today, are so good at priming these horses for these sort of races, and I think with soft ground, he's going to take a world of beating in this.
Okay. Obviously, I'm with Frero Bamboo. Haven't found another one yet, but this horse looks well treated. I really think the step up in triple suit. Dees?
I like Willie Mullins' horse, Haute Oncouleur. Top weight. Should be running in the Ryanair. Will be running in the Ryanair if Shishcombe wasn't there. No, he's carrying 12 stone in this, but he is a group horse in a handicap. He's been well backed already. He's the first part of my Willie Mullins double of Haute Oncouleur and Hunter's Yarn, which is going to pay for all my points on Friday. Yeah, it's very strong in him. I think he's a serious horse. I know he didn't do the business last day, but he was going to beat Fakir's Dulari before that at Taurus when he fell at the last. I just think he's a great chance, and again, he has been supported. He's into 7.8 now. I think he was 9.0 yesterday at least. That was one of the prices I got. So, yeah, I think he's a belter of a chance.
Yeah, he was very much on my shortlist. It'd be a good weight carrying performance. Just looking at previous winners of the race, or certainly the last 10, I don't think anything's carried anything like that to win this. In fact, most of them are carried under 11 stone. Simply the bet's 11.4. So to the storyteller. Otherwise, it's always had 10 stone in front of the name. But I can definitely see, or at the start, I can definitely see the chance. The mare's novice, with Charlie and I are sitting that out. Although I think we're both against the favourite, Charlie. We'll come to that. Lucia is 2.76, Lot of Joy 7.2, Halka du Taber is 13.5, Magical Zoe 14.0. You wear it well. I put her up anti-post. I have to confess to forgetting she has a penalty, and that worries me. She's priced though 19.0, although Paul Nicholls' thing that beat her last time got absolutely stuffed today. Princess Zoe D 17.0.
Yeah, I can't get over the price of her. I know she's only had the one run over hurdles, but like this is really, really top class flat horse. You know, she ran NASCAR Gold Cups. The softer the ground, the better. She won the Prix de Cadran and bottomless ground. They were going for the arc for her. Tony Mullins is genuinely really, really sweet on her. I gave a great speech about her there at the preview night we did on Saturday night. And like she's a win place price. And the thing about her the last day is that she hit the last momentum, got headed by a horse, and she battled, and she just, she did heat it, but she didn't lose the race, wouldn't lose the race. I don't think that's the kind of thing that you can teach a horse. She ate, like, she's a lot of experience on her side. I think she's a cracking bet for this. And I didn't put this one down on the sheet, but I put up in the handicap special. I think a horse with no name is completely overpriced as well. She finished. She's down here. She's 30.0. She finished second to Love and Va in the Mayor's Novice last year, and she was absolutely tanking, but she just didn't quite get there. But I mean, that form has been fairly franked. She's coming into this. I think she's had a nice little break. Just at 30.0, I'll be going win place on her. We're offering 5 places on this. So you could have a little small bit in the win, and you could back her maybe 4 or 5 places as well, and cover your win bet and hopefully make a bit of profit.
Yeah, she did bleed last time, and she's very much the stable second string with Lucia in there. More on her later on. And moving on from the Mayor's Novice to the last, this is the Kim Muir. Charlie and I managed to pick out the same horse in here miraculously. These are as follows: Stumptown, who won at Sandown last time, 6.0. Mr. Incredible, 7.2. Angels Dawn, 8.6. Dunboyne, 8.8. 12.0. Beauport, 15s and bigger the rest. Charlie, I'm with you on this Dunboyne here, who's still relatively lightly raced. I was impressed with what he did last time. I think that's good form as well from Ireland, bumping into the Mullins horse, who was second start off an absence, and yeah, the ground's come in his favour. Gordon Elliott's got a great recent record in this race, so he's top of my shortlist.
Yeah, I completely agree, mate. As in, and chuck in Jamie Codd as well. And to me, yeah, that makes him a really confident selection in a race like this. I think he more than anyone is a man to have on your side. Like you say, Gordon Elliott's record in the race is strong, and he's an unexposed horse that comes into it off the back of a career best.
Just to mention, I'm probably going to back a couple of Elliots in here. The other one who I thought was interesting had Harry Swan on board. Ballykeal, who was a winner at Fairyhouse last time, has got form with cut underfoot. Has got a decent bit of experience, and he hasn't gone up too much from his Irish mark either. He won last time off 125. He lines up here off 129, and Harry Swan looks very capable. So he's a big price. I'm going to add Ballykeal to the list. Dees?
Apologize for the beeping that's coming off my laptop. I don't know what is doing it, and it's driving me bananas as well. If you can hear that on the screen,
It's all the money going into your account, mate.
Yeah. I have a big price one for this. I can't believe he's the price he is. I really like Rapper. Henry Daly's horse. He's down here. What is he? He's 25.0. You'll probably get a bit bigger than that now in the morning if you're going about 11 o'clock. But he won on New Year's Day on soft ground, over course and distance, won by 8.5 lengths, pissed up, and first time cheese pieces there that day. They've put a first time visor on him now tomorrow. He would love soft ground. He stays all day. He could have got into the ultimate. They decided to keep him for this. Henry Daly is having some season. Alice Stevens, which I think you know fairly well, Charlie. She was in a tweet you put up at the weekend. She's actually won twice at Cheltenham on the course this season. I think he's completely overlooked in the market. Like, the Irish horses are not well handicapped in this at all. So I'll be going it for a nice chunky win place betting him. We are going to 6 places in this race.
Hit like and let us know your Thursday nap, please, on the comments. You can do it watching back. It doesn't have to be live. Let us know your nap on Thursday. That's Thursday done and dusted. Dunboyne for Charlie and I. I'll add Ballykeal and Rapper for DC. Best Thursday long shots then. Best Thursday long shots. Ideally 11.0 and bigger. Mine was Bear Gills, who I put up anti-post for the Pertemps for all the reasons I suggested earlier on. Charlie Post.
I'm just going to chop Balco Coastal up there. I think he is 11.0. You know, I think Jerry Colon was, I thought he was slightly unlucky not to take out the staying handicap, the staying novice chase today. His form ties in with him. You know, and I think if there are any chinks in Mighty Potter's armor, then Balco Coastal could be the one. I would definitely back him in the place market.
He's 12.0, so that's fine. Dees, your long shot.
Rapper in the Kimure. Get on.
I like you've turned my head with that shout. I might put that up as my own in the box tomorrow. Thanks, mate.
Ooh.
Thank you. I'll say I know a judge. I like that. Good shot. I think that's very interesting. Right, Thursday lays. On the ground and on the nature of this race, where we know so little about them, I want to take on Lucia at the top of that betting, Charlie.
I'm completely with you, mate. As in, you know, I think you have to look at it, especially the way the British horses have performed in the novice events thus far. She's 2.62 or something in a race full of horses with heaps of untapped potential. Add in the ground, and she's got to be worth taking on at the price she is, Tom.
You're doing the same, D, so yeah?
Yeah, there isn't much else that kind of took my eye in. I suppose she's the only one that I would consider laying for all the reasons that she said. Like, there's a lot of those mares in there, could be anything.
And best bets for Thursday. Ferro Bambaloo in the plate. I'll stop chatting about this horse soon. Hopefully when he's won. Charlie Post, your best bet?
Just boring, Mighty Potter.
It's not boring if it cops. Dees?
Out en couleur in the plate.
Yeah.
Merci.
You are fluent. So French. Matt's nap is Tupo in the stairs. Helen's Antailleur in the Pertemps. Good luck with those. We move on to Friday. Triumph Hurdle, we kick off. I can't make my mind up. I've had my head turned by Blood Destiny and people saying, look at that performance last time. Because after her defeat at Leopardstown, I thought, well, Lossiemouth will just go and win the Triumph now. Just needed a clear run. But I'm less convinced now, Charlie. Convince me.
I just think the vibe all year was that she was the best juvenile the Mullins team had, and I thought she lost nothing in defeat at Leopardstown. In fact, I thought she was enhanced to get as close as she did to Garlamo. So after being completely T-boned by a stable companion, I thought it was a seriously good effort. I know Willie spoke that he was slightly upset that Paul was as hard on her as she was, but I think they've had plenty of time to get over it. And I think if she'd have won that, she'd nearly be odds on for this. And you're getting a price that she's not far off getting out to 2-1, and that makes her a really backable price for me.
Yeah, let me just confirm the prices for you. I mean, she is nigh on that. She's 2.9.
Yeah.
Is that right, Dees?
Yeah, 2.86, I think.
Okay,
Down the bottom there, our markets aren't ours, is it?
Blood Destiny 3.0. You just, is it between those for you, or are you just sitting it out, Dees?
Oh, look, I have no interest in 4-year-old hurdles. I know I just had a bet in the booths that are there, but I don't have any luck tipping in them. The only one I give, if you want just a fun bet for very small money, Al Muhit is there at a triple figure price. I'm not putting him up to win, but he could sneak into a place if he's off. He gave up.
If he's off,
he gave up. Yeah,
Great.
well, yeah. Look at how trades him. He gave up, I'd say, 20 links at the start of that ace race the last day, and barely started, and still actually got back into the race and wasn't beaten that far. He was a decent enough horse for John Gosden as well. I'd say he has an engine. If we're going 5 or 6 places, you might be get the double figure price in this horse to sneak into it if he gets going. Much like Le Boyk back in the day, if he's reluctant to race, but over in England they can use a different whip at the start, so they'll give him a crack at that and he might get going, and just at a crazy price, back him for 6 places or 5 places.
What whip is that? Is it a long tom? What is this?
Have you not heard about all the issues we have with the whip over here? And you're suggesting that they brought him over from Ireland to England to benefit from the new whip we have over here to crack him with at the start.
Dear Le Boyk won, right?
Oh,
they were on about he would refuse to race in Ireland, but they said they use the starter uses the fellow who's behind the horses uses a different kind of whip over in England that makes a bigger noise. And they said they'd crack that and Le Boyk would start, and he did. And this lunatic might be the same.
Called a cattle prod.
Huh?
I just love the idea that this horse isn't going to be. Dennis, if you're watching, those are the views of Micheál Deasy and not Matchbook. Right, let's move on.
Dennis knows the crack. It's all right.
He does. He definitely does. Let's move on to the county hurdle. I'll give you the prices when the horses go up, but you can sell Hunter's Yarn to us, the second leg of the Mullins double.
So Hunter's Yarn, absolutely smashed. Imagine on the 12th of February at Navan, galloped away from up the hill. Just if you can get up the hill, and there's a good uphill finish at Navan. I like horses that run well there. He had the likes of, imagine another way of thinking, American Mike in behind him. He was off levels with American Mike. Absolutely pissed up. Thought he was going to be in the Supreme. They've got him in here instead. Willie owns this race the last few years. He's been well backed. Lock of the week.
Bosch, Charlie, Pembroke.
Well, I'm going to go for another trainer that also has monopolised this over the last 7 years. He's taken 3 of them out, Dan Skelton. But I'm going to tip up Pembroke. He had a couple of easy novice hurdle wins, and then he ran over 2-5 at Cheltenham and just got outstayed really by Sid Hosey's horse that has a squeak in the Albert Bartlett. I think this is an operation of second to none, as I've said earlier, when plodding out for these big handicap hurdles, and certainly none better than the county hurdles. So I'm going to play Pembroke win and place because I just can't see him not being there or thereabouts in this.
Alex says Nap stage start if Banbridge is a non-runner. Is there talk of Banbridge being a non-runner? Maybe the rain is still falling. He also says good shout on Lagadan, Charlie. Good shout on Correct Rambler, DC. I'm not mentioned. It's because I've had a crap 2 days. Who am I going for in this? Yeah, Pembroke and Ballyadam. I thought if you watched the race back last year, he's only a little bit higher. he was on the inside. Like you definitely wanted to be wide for a start. First Street, I thought, is worth respecting off the back of that. But he's about £10 higher this year. I think Bally Adams only 4 higher. He ran on the wrong part of the track, having just been a bit short room turning for home. I don't know. He's about 26.0. I thought he was way overlooked, almost on account of he tried last year. He's higher, he won't win. But I thought he had a half decent shout. And Matt Toombs made a good case for him on our handicap preview as well. I thought he was a big price. Okay, the Albert Bartlett then. I haven't got prices up in front of me. Last time I checked, I think Corbett's Cross was bang at the top of the betting. I will confirm that for you. 3-card Bragg, 5.0, 5.5 Corbett's Cross, 10.0 Embassy Gardens, as is Hidden Valley Lake. I've had a good few people with Irish accents telling me Corbett's Cross is the one. That's why I'm putting him up. So I trust these people. I thought he should be favourite anyway. Now in the JP colours, he loves cutting the ground. I know he won over Shorter last time, but he's proved in handicap company stays all day. He's rated 148, so he's a fair horse already. And as much as I like 3-card Bragg, I thought Corbett's Cross had done enough to be bang at the top of the betting. Helen says, good shout, Lane, Constitution Hill, Tom. Thank you very much. And then we've just hit up, I trust these people. I thought Corbett's Cross would be someone for you, Dees. I thought he'd be a Micheál Deasy shout. I don't know why.
Look, he's a very good horse. It's just, I don't know. He's short enough for me. I just didn't want to desert the horse that I've been with all year. Favori the Champtou. I think he's an 8-year-old, but earlier I was on about him last week. Said he was just a big, weak horse. It took him a long time to grow into himself. And they got him out at the start of this year. He looked very impressive in all his races. He won the trial, the best, I think, one of the best trials, that Limerick race there at Christmas. They've put him away. As long as it's not knee-deep ground, I think he should be fine. And he's a win place bet for me. So I'll be sticking with him.
Charlie Post.
I've gone with Monty Starr, Monalee's brother. Same connections as Manila Indo, who obviously took this race out before. He beat his stablemate Hidden Valley Lake, granted in receipt of a bit of a weight last time out, but I think this is going to end up a real test. If this weather carries on, it's going to end up an absolute war of attrition, and I think this horse has got stamina in abundance. He's a chaser in the making, as most of these horses in this field are, and I think he's 21.0. Rachel Blackmore doesn't ride him, but Sean Flanagan steps in, and that's not a negative for me, and again, I think he's a real cracking win and place bet.
That is because Rachel's on Hidden Valley Lake. Matt says, thanks, DC, for picking up Jazzy Matty, which I got at 22.0 on 3 sites, 2 free bets. Lovely stuff. And thanks for using the decimal as well, Matt. Good man yourself. Are we done on the Albert Bartlett? Let's move on to the Gold Cup. Reminder, Corbett's Cross, Monty Star, Favre de Champ doing the Albert Bartlett. Right. Cheltenham Gold Cup. I am pretty strong on this Galopin des Champs at 3.0 as comfortably the best horse in the race, and mainly because I just don't fancy Brave Man's Game, given Nichols is weak and given him round Cheltenham. I don't like it when a horse's last run at the track has been as bad as it was 2 years ago. A Plutard could just be a busted flush, having pulled up last time on his sole start this year. And then, I don't know, can I really see Noble Yates winning a Gold Cup? If they went very hard on very testing ground, maybe. But I think, Dees, there's a case for this horse, Galopin des Champs, being shorter than 3.0.
Yeah, he seems to have drifted a small bit. Just looking at him there now, like I had on as a 2.5, 2.62, so 3.0. Yeah, like I mean, I suppose it's the ground. There is a lot of rain forecast, and he won't want it to be a slog, you know. And the Gold Cup is generally like, you know, sometimes it's the best there. Look at Native River, like just gets through the ground and just gallops and gallops and gallops. I think he's potentially the best horse in the race by a distance. He looks to be a freak. But if it's very heavy ground today, I probably wouldn't be backing him too heavily. The one I put up before this is Conflated. I'm not going to desert him either. I think that he's a completely different horse this year. He will handle soft ground. He's run all right and heavy before. He's a win base price. Like they do fancy this horse to run a huge race. So I'd be happy enough to stake him. Probably half win, half place at about 14.0 at the moment. Yeah.
Okay, and Charlie, who are you with? I'm interested in this with the rain coming. Go on.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you 100%. I think Galloping Deschamps is the best horse in the race, and I think he is the most likely winner. It's just with all this rain coming in, I'm just not sure I want to be wading in too short about him. So looking to play in the place market. And yeah, I came down with Manella Rindo. You know, he's a Cheltenham Festival specialist for starters. 2 wins, 2 second places at the festival. Second the Gold Cup last year to Aplutard. I quite liked his return when he beat Statler. You know, he stuck it out well. He's got a really good attitude. And the more this race turns into a test of stamina rather than speed and maybe natural brilliance, I think it suits him. And like I say, at 21.0 with in the place market, I think he's really interesting.
Okay, that's the Gold Cup done. A couple of shots for Gallopin Deschamps, Micheál Deasy for Charlie, conflated, added to the list before DC. The Hunter Chase. DC, you're sitting this out. I didn't think I'd be putting one up here, but last year, you remember it was absolute heartbreak getting Charlie. What an excellent judge, Hannah says. Absolute heartbreak for the connections of Vorsley, David Christie, Barry O'Neill, with BeGambleAware coming and nabbing Winged Leader. And I remember David afterwards basically saying, "Don't worry, we've got one for next year who's better," and that is Vorsley. Now, there's every chance he wants better ground. That's a slight concern, but I do think this horse might just be a cut above. He won at Stratford, having not really gone a yard, and class got him through. His preparation looks like it's gone perfectly this year, and I thought 4.0 Vorsley, given what was said last year, he's half the horse I most want to win because it was such heartbreak for David Christie and his son and daughter who look after the horse, but Winged Leader. But I also think on form, he's a bet at the prices. You are, Charlie, looking at last year's winner, though, are you?
Yeah, I'm just coming, again, festival form to the 4. I'm going to back BeGambleAware small stakes and win and place, as in, I think he's been second in the race twice, and he won it last year from an improbable position. As you said, it was heartbreak for David Christie. But he's got blinkers on for the first time, which is interesting. And like I say, attritional conditions hold no fear for him. And just at the prices, I think he's worth a small win and place bet.
All right, that's the Hunter Chase done. We move on to the Mare's Chase. Nothing for me. Dees, I can't work out this Allegory Deasy because I think she's really dividing people. Some people are like, she's a lunatic, she goes to a right, can't win, and other people just think she's far too good, rated 150 to 1. Sorry, rated 151. She is, though, she's a pretty warm order, to be fair, at 2.5. So why are you with her?
For the second reason you said there, I just think she's just, I know she does right and all that stuff, but she has a serious engine. There's great vibes about her all year. That she could run against Geldings and beat them. I know, and in fairness, Tom Purvis did that as well. But look, this isn't going to be the biggest bet of the day by far, but it's a pick 'em. I was looking at Riviere the Tell as well at a bigger price, but I'm just not going to bother that messing now and just stick with Allegory Deasy.
All right, Allegory Deasy for you. And Charlie, you're against her?
Yeah, I really like Impervious. I agree with Dees. I mean, it's not like a race I'm going to be getting heavily involved in. But just with the question marks with Allegory Deasy, with the jumping out to the right and that, I think Impervious is a very good jumper. Again, will relish really slow conditions and small stakes. I'm just would be playing with her to beat the favourite.
Okay, last race up is the Martin Pipe. 1 shout each for these. Impervious, incidentally, is 4.0. Martin Pipe, we've got 3 different horses going up. Top of the betting, I mean, unsurprisingly, it's Ireland who are popular. 5.5, Mutton's horse, Spanish Harlem. 7.0, Gordon Elliott's Cool Survivor. Same price for his Imagine. And then you've got Iroko for Ollie Greenall and Josh Guerrero. This horse was given a warm shout on our handicap preview by Dan Overall. And Dees, you're jumping on that bandwagon.
Very much so, yeah. I put up Blue Sari in that, and you're all laughing at me, and you're dead right. Iroko, look, he's obviously been kept for this. Dan made a good case. Like, he's just been very good in his 2 handicaps this year. If you look at Oliver Greenall and Josh Guerrero's season, you'd actually be in profit just blind back in their hurdlers. So they really know what they're doing. He had his 2 runs put away for this. Won't overcomplicate it too much. This is a tough race, like, but I'd be confident enough he'll be hitting the frame anyway. And I'll have a quick check there how many places we have for that.
Yeah. Good idea. So that's Iroko for you, who is 10.0. Charlie, Price is your horse here. Let me just confirm it for you, unless you've got it in front of you.
I mean, I've got sort of 7 or 8.0.
7.0. Go on. Why Cool Survivor?
Yeah. Cool Survivor. I mean, they ran very well behind Goodland in a Grade 1 last time out. Only beat 4 lengths. Goodland, I think. He may be slightly underperformed though against expectations, but he ran fine earlier on today in the 2 mile 4 novice. Sam Ewing's booked to ride him. He's a very, very good rider, as everyone knows all about. And I think this is a sort of race that it's often taken by a future graded performer. And then this lad's already at that level, and he carries 11.7. He's got a bit of quality, and I take the class to tell.
I like the Iroko shout, but I know DC was putting it up, and Dan's already done so. I also quite like Haxo, who I think's probably been campaigned with this race in mind. I mean, he was a 9.0 shot for the race won by Corbett's Cross, and unfortunately he was very disappointing on that occasion, and then came out and won last time pretty comfortably. They suggested that last time he'd run too freely on desperate ground. Then coming into the Punchestown race, he settled much better and put in a good round of jumping. But I'm not surprised they drew stumps then. Lining up here of 132, I just think he could be a bit better than that. Like they chucked him in really deep last year at a massive price into a Ballymore, which was kind of odd that he ran in that race. But I think he might be quite decent, and I quite like the fact that Noel Feely, they bought the horse before the start of the season, and with a race I would imagine like this in mind. So Haxo at a big price. Alex says O'Fleuron for the Pipe, because I put him up for the Coral Cup. They're just such different races, aren't they? A bit like why I couldn't have had Langadan for the Pipe again, but why he was obviously going to be on the shortlist for the Coral Cup, just because the Coral Cup, I think, is an easier race to win. Never used to be that way around. So I don't know O'Fleuron. I don't see him as a future star. I'm nowhere near as confident as I would have been with him for the Coral Cup, to be honest. But if you go back to his run last time, he was never really put into it, and you can make a case that he's better than that. And certainly on his run last year, in this race when he was £2 higher. But is the £2 ease enough? I'm not sure it is. So I haven't committed to him. I might regret it. Places, Dees? Come in again.
5 at the moment, but we'll be going 7 on the day. At least 7, possibly
8. You'll see the note scrolling along the bottom of our screen. I'm not gonna read it out. It's absolutely pathetic. I've just got no words. Can you just take over these? It's scandalous.
Leave them off.
Right, Haxo, Cool Survivor, Iroko, Best Friday Long Shots, 11.0 and bigger. Ballyadam in the county hurdle for me. Charlie.
Monty Star in the Albert Barlam.
Micheál Deasy.
Favori de Champtou in the Albert Bartlett.
Alex is going for a Spanish Harlem Hunter's Yarn double. A few shouts for Hunter's Yarn here. Best Friday Lays. I haven't got one. But Charlie, you're against DC selection in the mares.
Yeah, which is worrying because he's the judge as DC, isn't it? But just for if the jumping right becomes a pronounced issue, I think Impervious is a worthy rival at least. And yeah, again, a short price, I'll be willing to take her on.
Dees.
I'm struggling, so I'm going to place Spanish Harlem in the last race. Place them for 2 or 3 places. This is a pure hype talking horse. I know. Sorry, Alex. I just don't see it with him. And this is going to be just a messy race. It could be running an absolute bog. There could be 10 or 12 of them coming over the last hurdle in the line, and I'd be laying him for 3 places, maybe 4. Especially if he's near the top of the market.
You place-laid the Nichols horse in the Ballymore, who got absolutely smashed into favouritism and finished 5th. So you were right.
I was like, he was 1.8 last night for 3 places, and I took a bit of that. And then this morning he was 1.6 or 1.5, and I was just like, this is fantastic.
He does what he wants.
Yeah,
he does what
he'll be a good horse next year. Nichols isn't. Yeah,
I spoke to Nichols after the race and said, "What do you make of that?" Because he thinks he's a good horse, and plenty of us did as well. He was sent off favourite. He said he may not love the ground, but no excuses. He was beaten by better horses on the day, and he said, "And you know what? The same thing will probably happen next year. We'll win 3 or 4 chases en route to this, maybe a grade 1. We'll come here and we'll get stuff." It's mad, isn't it? These Irish horses are just frightening. So there you are. Good. Best Friday bets. Galopin Des Champs in the Gold Cup. Easy. Friday's going to be easy. Charlie.
Lossy Mouth, you're getting odds against a horse that should be odds on.
DC.
Hunter's Yarn in the county.
Hunter's Yarn in the county.
One way.
Good stuff. I trust these people. Thanks, Dees. Thanks, Charlie. Great stuff. Charlie, I'll see you tomorrow. DC, we'll chat again soon, no doubt. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Head over to Insights for all the best bets that have been put up there. And thanks for your interaction throughout Cheltenham. It's much appreciated. Adds to what we do. And hope you've enjoyed all our content. Still 2 days worth of winners to come your way. Bye-bye, everyone.